Luckily, like you explained, Boris, your enclosure is the very last enclosure next to the woods. Now, Seamus was just about to climb down the bucket. We were going to distract Kevin as planned. Seamus was at the ready when Coco grabbed his tail, so Seamus squealed. He was left hanging. Of course, Kevin turned around. Boris? Boris, is that you? It was touch and go. He wasn't convinced. But Seamus was brilliant. Grabbed his hat, took his glasses. He managed to convince Kevin he was Boris. They had a vet check him. Luckily, we heard him say, Boris, you've had a little holiday, haven't you? Kevin gently stroked both sides of his face. Oh, no. I forgot to tell him. He does that to calm me down. Kevin does that to calm me down. Well, this is where it got strange. The female capuchin called over. If he strokes your face, grab his thumbs gently. So Seamus did this. What? Why? How did she? Go on, Jimmy, Mighty Oak said. Right, well, listen to this. This is mind-blowing. Because everything checked out with this locum vet and Kevin, Seamus is put in an enclosure. We are stood on top of the enclosure, and we heard Petra say, Seamus, is that you? Seamus said, Darcy? They hugged. Of course, this made Kevin assume it absolutely was Boris, so it turned out better than planned. That's why she must have prompted Seamus to grab Kevin's thumbs. Timmy was so confused. What? Who's Darcy? Right, replied Jimmy. It only turns out that Seamus and Petra, had been poached from the same place. She explained to us that she was stolen from her parents. Seamus had fought hard, however, he and his parents were also taken. They were all in the same crate together, however, poachers chasing their vehicle. The van crashed. Sadly, his parents died in the crash. Seamus survived, but he had severe concussion. He has no memory of this, of his parents, of anything. His earliest memory is the back of the van in England. She told us this while Seamus was getting acquainted with Coco. Now, Seamus does not know this, and it won't help him if he does. Timmy was crying. Poor Seamus. No, of course, I will not say anything ever. Now, Petra, as she was, the zoo has changed her name, and Seamus was sold together and they went to Scotland. But Jed couldn't afford the two, so sold Darcy to the zoo. Timmy and Boris were both dumbfounded. Wow, that's amazing. Timmy said, just think, Boris, if you hadn't come here, this would not have happened. Mighty Oak replied, you see a reason for everything, even if we may not see it at the time. The Major had not said a word at all. He was just at a loss for words. Jimmy, Sally, fabulous work. Thank you. Major, Boris, if you could carry on perhaps just for a while. Yes, of course. Timmy, you all right? Yes. May I talk to you for a moment, please? Of course. What's on your mind, my boy? Now Seamus has met up with his friend. He's become our friend. It'll be so hard for him to go home and be on his own. Timmy's eyes were filled with tears. He's helped us so much. He's done scary things, left the comfort of his home for us, and now he'll have to go home miles away. When he's just met Petra again. This was why the mighty tree loved Timmy. His compassion, his love for everyone else, his empathy for them. Timmy, stop crying. You trust me, don't you, even when others have doubted me? Yes, always. I promise you it will work out for the best. Well, that's good enough for me, sir. May I draw now? It's fun. Yes, Timmy. He was indeed a special boy. All Mighty Oak had said was it would turn out for the best. He hadn't said Seamus wasn't going home. However, Timmy had absolute faith in him. It was early evening and a report had passed down the line through the birds that the local news on television stated the missing capuchin had returned to the zoo. The zoo had said in a statement they did not feel that Boris had actually left the grounds of the zoo. There was no reports of a monkey being seen. The staff thought he had stayed close to the enclosure. They were of the opinion that it was not an escape, rather an accident, and they would ensure it did not happen again. That's great, said Mighty Oak. Thank you.